So let's go ahead and delete the official one first. And we're going to need to do some downloads on the computer. First off, in the App Store, you guys want to go ahead and download Xcode. So this is the latest 7.3.1. And this is only if your device is running iOS 9. And you can go ahead and check in your settings. If you're running iOS 10, you need to get Xcode 8. So beta 2, the newest one. And that can be found from Apple's iOS 9 developer page, just like this. You don't need to be a developer to download Xcode, so I will leave a link for this down below as well, just in case you're on iOS 10. But this shouldn't apply to anyone that's on iOS 9. You'll just get the regular one from the App Store. All right, so once you have Xcode downloaded, we're gonna go ahead and go into the Launchpad, and you wanna find Keychain Access. So just Keychain, and you guys wanna delete all of these. So just go ahead and delete everything that's in here. It's not absolutely necessary, but it does help to ensure a smooth process. Next, you want to download the actual files. It'll be in a folder called jailed Pokemon Go anywhere.zip. You want to make sure you extract that after you download it. And we need to download a cracked version of Pokemon Go. So not the tweaked version from iPhone Cake, but the actual just Pokemon Go cracked version. You can go ahead and download them from here. And yes, this does work with the latest 1.0.2 version. So we're going to go ahead and download that. And once that's downloaded on our desktop, it's going to be in a whole bunch of jumbles in the name. You just want to do Pokemon Go.ipa. So that's exactly how you want it to look. Just Pokemon, capital P, capital G.ipa. Then you're going to take this and drag it into the jailed Pokemon Go Anywhere folder we just downloaded. So this is what the inside of the folder is going to look like. All right, so we're almost done. All right, so let's begin. And the very first thing we're gonna wanna do is run Xcode. If you're on iOS 9, Xcode 7.3.1, Xcode 8 if you're on iOS 10. Just wanna clear that up again and again. Anyways, on Xcode, we wanna go ahead and run it and create a new Xcode project. Master detail application. And just, call it anything. Really, I'm just going to call it Pokemon Go. And organization identifier, just say com.yourname, your username, your name, whatever. And this is what the final build will look like. com.phonerebel.pokemon Go. This can be anything. I'm just telling you, just write anything. This needs to be your name and put that in here on this text right here. All right, so save that to our desktop. All right, so as soon as we're in the app, this is what you're going to see. You want to go ahead and sign in with your Apple ID in here. You don't have to be a developer, so don't worry about that. Anyways, once you're signed in, there will be a prompt basically saying fix the issue. So this is creating a provisioning file. If it gave you an error saying that it couldn't create it, it must be this last piece right here. So com.yourusername or whatever, and just change this text, change it into anything else. It might have been taken already. All right, so once you don't have that fix issue button anymore, you've resolved it. We're gonna go into Xcode preferences, and we're gonna go ahead and select view details. And down here in the provisioning profiles, find the one for the name we are using, Pokemon Go, okay? Show in Finder. All right, so I can close out of this. I just wanna have this little guy right here on the side. So this is basically what's going to allow us to install the app on our phone. All right, so let's go ahead and go into Launchpad and search for terminal and launch terminal. All right, so we're going to hide this for just a moment. So in terminal, type in CD and a space. Then take the jailed Pokemon Go Anywhere folder from the desktop, drag it in, and click enter. All right, so now we're going to go to this page. I will have a link for it down below. This is the reference page with instructions. By the way, major props to whoever made this happen. I just wanted to compile a better tutorial as there was no other one available. So let's go into here. And on step 4, you want to go ahead and select the chmod plus x patchapp.sh op tool text. We're going to go back into terminal and paste it in here and click enter. All right, we are almost done, guys. So next, let's go to step 6 and select this beginning text right here. ./patchapp.sh patch Pokemon Go.ipa. So copy that, and then we are going to go into terminal, paste it, and click space. So there needs to be a space in between IPA and the cursor. And now we're going to go to this provisioning profile that we just set aside and drag it in. All right, so before we click enter, make sure your device is plugged in. Make sure the cracked Pokemon Go file is in the folder and renamed to Pokemon Go.ipa, just like that. All right, let's go ahead and click enter. So now it will begin to go ahead and compile that app. It shouldn't take more than a minute or two maximum. It takes like 30 seconds. So in a moment here. All right, so it says great success. So we have that. So let's go ahead and minimize this. So officially, we should be able to go into Xcode with our device right here. Let's go into Window, Devices, and make sure the device is selected. Click the little plus icon and find in that folder, the jailed Pokemon Go Anywhere folder, there will be a new Pokemon Go-patched.ipa. Go ahead and select open. And now it will begin to install to the device, except in most cases, it will not install. You'll get an error and it should look, well, installed for some reason, but usually it doesn't. So I'm gonna go ahead and pretend that we got an error, basically saying there's an error with the provisioning profile. So I'm gonna delete this. And considering we got that error, if you didn't, you're good, obviously, but most of us will get that error. So we wanna go ahead and go back to Safari, and there will be a link for iOS App Signer. Download this, and this is what it will look like right here, iOS App Signer. So we wanna go ahead and put the patched Pokemon Go file in it. We wanna go ahead and go into our account that we logged into, and in provisioning profile, go down and choose that profile. This is basically the one we made in Xcode, so you want to make sure it is right here. And you can rename the app to anything you want right here. So we're going to go ahead and click Start, and we can say this to the same folder. So this will basically overwrite to the old one, and it will copy the new one in here. And we're going to do the same process and reinstall it using Xcode. So just like this. You can install using iTunes, just Xcode seems to be a little bit more reliable. So back in Xcode, go to Windows, Devices, and again, same device, click the little plus icon and select Pokemon Go Patched. So again, it will go ahead and begin installing it to our device. This time, for anyone that did have the provisioning error, it should install just fine. All right, so untrusted developer, we need to go ahead and trust this in settings. Go into General, Profiles, and trust in here. All right, so now we can go ahead and open up the app, and in a moment here it should load, and we will have our controls on the side of the display. So yeah, guys, I know it's a little bit of a process. It should get simplified in the future, but it is working right now, and I'm very glad that it is. I mean, I don't really play this game, but for anyone that does play it and lives in like a rural area, it makes it so much easier for you, and plus you don't have to go outside now. All right, so a couple little tips on how to play using this. So first off, the speed right here, it's best to keep it at 2, just because, I don't know, 4 doesn't seem to work very good often. So patrol right here basically keeps you walking to go ahead and hatch your eggs, steps, adding steps, and you can encounter a Pokemon randomly like this. So you can change the speed, but it doesn't seem to work very good with 4 times. So 2 times is good. Also, tap to walk is the one most of us are going to be using it on. So it doesn't work as you would think. You would think you would click somewhere and you would go there, but it only goes north. So